lonestar@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. You know it's going to be Richard and me and Richard. My name has to come first. It's C. Yeah, it comes in that order, Cindy and Richard. Today, so we've got a lot of different things to talk about, and you just won't believe. But anyway, we have to, first of all, before anything else, thank our sponsor, Wootton Financial Group. And that phone number is 936-449-5952. Did you see me look down at the paper? No. I got it. Okay. But here's what they are. They're an independent fiduciary, which means they always put the client first, advisors, with professional advice to help you put the pieces of your retirement puzzle into place. And their key services are income tax, estate investment, and insurance planning. And that's our sponsor. Those are people are our sponsor. Chris Wootton is the guy that this is named after, and he is a fabulous person. Don't we love Chris, Richard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Do you think that was too strong a word, love? No, we really do, because Chris has always been there. He's supported us. He was a sponsor when I was over at the other studio, and he's back because I'm back, and so he's a great guy, and love for you to give him a call and let him help you with your finances. That would be fabulous. If you want to just go first to the website, it's Wootton Financial, WOOTTON financial.com. Okay? So there you have all the ways to get to him and find out about him. It's funny, Richard, because in any business today, you can stalk the person you're going to have to talk to on the phone or you're going to have to do business with. And it's so, I don't know, it's not like it used to be. You used to have to go to that place, and go in and set up a meeting and go talk to the person. But now you can get into all their business, and you can probably find their Facebook, and then you get to know their wives and children and all that before you ever even meet them. Isn't that strange to you? Maybe it's not to you, because
it's all the information
younger.
They themselves put out there.
Well, no, they want them to come and find out about them, but it's just weird that you, as somebody from the outside, can go and find out everything about them. Where they.
That's if they put it out there, though.
Yes, they do.
So, it's kind of like you're putting up a sign. I hope no one reads it. No one ever says that.
No. I know they want them to read it, but it's just funny. So when they first meet, when they have that first meeting, then they're going to be sitting there talking.
You like martinis because I see you drinking them all the time
yes.
on the social media.
Yeah.
You have 4 kids: Harry, Larry, and Mo.
And you really need to be nicer to your mother-in-law. It's really
the way you look at her.
You. Yeah, it's just just be nicer to her. She's like 70-something, so be nice. But they know all about you, and as the owner of this company, know nothing about them. So it's just a strange relationship. And you're the guy that's in the, you're the important guy in the conversation. I know the customer is important, but you're the guy that has all the knowledge and that everything that they want is from you. And, but they, know nothing about them. So you have to drag all that stuff out of them.
Okay.
Well, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Well, if you think about, there's 2 things that I think changed drastically in the way we communicate, especially for businesses. Like I remember back in the day, growing up, like my grandfather always had his financial advisor.
Yes.
Like they had dinner together frequently. Like my dad still calls him because he's like part of the family, quotes.
Right.
So like we send him birthday cards. We call him on
really?
Christmas, invite him to the like other people too, like the lawyer, like the family lawyer, and like the people who you.
Well, how nice.
But today, no one. But I bet people still do that, but today not really.
Well, let me text them.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. There's like 15 ways to communicate to somebody, and
Yeah.
everyone expects you to answer. So it's like, oh, you didn't see my
Immediately.
Facebook message? It's like, I mean, I might have.
Yeah. Now, who do you think is better at answering a text? Your text, like, do I answer it better, or do you think you answer my text better?
Oh, your texts are better, I guess, because I'm like, stop bothering me.
Yeah. I mean, I get the cold shoulder from a text. This is so weird.
Yeah. Well, when you
I know
text
you're
me at
mad.
11 p.m., Cindy, I'm like,
I have never
Yeah, you have.
texted you at
Yeah, you
11 p.m.
and
Do
you
ever-
always call me during bowling too. I'm like, I'm not answering this phone call right now.
You mean you stand there, standing at the bowl and look
no,
at the
I don't.
thing?
I don't
and
even
then
answer
put it-
my wife's phone calls,
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I understand that. She takes top priority. Yes. But
and she
I
still
just
gets
stand.
mad. Can you believe that?
Well, tell her that's. Well, how'd she like to be second in getting a text back? But
Yeah.
do you stand there like you're waiting for the ball to come up, and then I call, and you look at it, and then you put it back in your pocket, and go like, she's driving me crazy. She won't.
Oh, I
quit
don't have my
calling
phone
me.
on me while I'm bowling. It's on like in my bag. And so I'll check.
okay.
I'll check it when we have like a break, and I'm like, I don't have time to call anybody right now because we're about to start again. So
It's just I can't imagine you. Do you wear one of those shirts
yeah.
that has the thing down the
I
sides?
got, well, no, we have different shirts depending on the team.
What does it say on it?
I mean, it just depends on the team name.
How many teams are you on?
Well, through the years, we try to get jerseys every time.
Well, do y'all have like
Like one of our buddies' girlfriends made us shirts, and so it's just a regular T-shirt, so it's not like a jersey. And then the owner of 300, when you're on his team, he likes to make you like bowling shirts. So you'll have like the
they're
logo.
not embroidered, are they?
Yeah, that.
Oh no, they're not.
Yeah, I'm Diamond Dick.
Your
yeah.
name is Diamond Dick.
Yeah, on the back of the shirt it says Diamond Dick in that cool font. I love it. I love bowling there. It's a lot of fun when you have a jersey because it's ridiculous, but they have fun with it though. That's what I like.
Yeah, I bet. I bet you get a lot of attention. Did he? What do you call it? Bedazzle the?
No.
Okay.
Well, the girlfriend's shirt, she bedazzled my name. It says Dick on the front, and it's like in glittery, like that. I got that because I'm a team captain.
Nobody else has a glitter,
No one else has a glitter.
and they call you. They call
They
you.
just call me Dick on that team. I don't have a nickname.
Okay,
Because on that other team, we were the Diamond Dogs.
the Diamond Dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, cute. That's so cute. That's what I was wondering if you had like a name for the team.
Well, like one team we're on, we were called the Dick Taps.
The what?
The Dick Taps.
Dick
Yeah, like my name and like you're tapping the pin.
tapping the pen.
Yeah.
Where
then
tapping the pen come from?
Well, because there's a style of play called like no taps. Like a game.
Oh, the pen.
the
I'm
pen,
thinking P-E-N. Okay,
Yeah.
pen. P-I-N.
But
All
when,
right.
when we would go play in tournaments, they wouldn't let us do that.
They wouldn't?
Yeah, we're called the D taps on like the roster
Good.
sheet and stuff.
Because I can't even call you
Yeah, no,
that name.
Yeah,
So I called him Richard. Richard, what's your middle name?
Price.
Price?
Now people are gonna look me up now.
What?
They're gonna find me on the internet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. All right. But the fact that you live at 422.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Anyway, that
Cool.
conversation started with I don't know why I started that conversation with you. Oh, we were talking about being nice to your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
And we're talking about being sweet to your wife. And your wife is graduating
Yeah, she graduates
tomorrow.
Yeah,
And she's going to be an RN?
yeah.
Oh my word. The RNs are everything. They do everything.
Mm-hmm.
You want your RN there and you tell your doctor, would you go get the RN? I need to speak to her. But, it's just, an RN is the thing to be. That's great. But they don't get paid as much as the doctor, though.
No.
They didn't go to school as long. But it's just, but they know everything that the doctor knows.
I think from what I understand, it is the doctor is the medical care planner, and the nurses and the nurse staff execute the care plan.
But
It's like when the doctor comes sees you while you're in the hospital, he only
Right.
sees you for like 25 minutes.
seconds.
It takes all the data and everything that's been happening, and then he goes back into his office and he's like, all right, I got to figure out how to improve this scenario. And the nurses give their insight on the actual day-to-day care. It's like, oh, we noticed that his blood pressure dropped on these times of the day. And it's like, okay.
Have you been in the hospital many times?
No, I just know how hospitals work.
Well, the thing that's weird.
It's all scam. It's all voodoo.
It's all voodoo.
Yeah, it's rub some crystals on you. You're good.
Just rub some crystals on him. Okay. So anyway, what I was going to say is that they ask you 3 or 4 times. They roll in the computer.
Yeah.
And they start asking you all the questions, and you answer all the questions.
Yeah.
And then another person comes in with the same looking type computer and all, and they start asking you the same questions. And I said, but didn't they already input that in the system? No, that's another system. And so anyway, how are you feeling today? And they go through all the other questions again. I don't get.
It's all accountability.
But
There's so much legal background work going on at hospitals. Like, that's probably all accountability right there.
well,
Because they're trying to probably
aggravating.
prove, like, hey, we did the same thing 3 times, but on the 4th time, she changed her answer. So we
great.
can't get sued because she doesn't know what's going. It happens all the time. Listen, you have to understand, like, not every patient's like you. Some patients like refuse care, and they're like, okay, well, your leg's gonna fall off if you refuse. I don't want to be in a okay. Well, can you sign this piece of paper acknowledging that we offered
We
you
tried.
care? I mean, it happens all the time. So, and everyone is accountable there. Like, they get sued left and right all the time. So they have to do certain hurdles just to protect themselves. And they probably asked you, was it a different person who asked you the question?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's probably because that individual nurse has a license to her name. And so she did her job. And the new nurse comes in and is like, well, I don't want to base my license on that nurse's. She's a bad nurse. So I better do this correctly. Happens all the time.
what's that called when you redundance? It's what it seems like. It just they
but
keep
things
doing
might
over and
might have
over again.
changed. I don't know. I mean,
Well,
because you know how much documentation hospitals do every day per patient. I
what do you mean?
Like the nurses document everything they do and observe.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Right.
And they have to be very thorough. They can't just use slang words, and it's not like a text message. Like, they have to write out like paragraphs of what they've done.
It's worse than police reports, right?
Yeah, because when you go to court with them, they can print those out and say like, "Oh, this is what they wrote."
Well, I mean, I certainly appreciate them, and I appreciate the hard work, but it seemed like once they've asked that question, and it's a mundane question, I mean, they just keep asking
How
the
are
same
you feeling
ones.
from a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, those faces just crack me up. And I never know the answer to that because
There's some psychological thing behind it. I forget what it is. Because it's not like if you say 1, they're going to give you drugs. You know, it's like pain's pain.
Yeah.
And I think they know that.
Well, when it says it goes from 1 to 10 though, and so
Maybe
if you
it's
say
more of like, what's your mental capacity at the moment?
oh no, that's
Because if
weird.
I say like, oh, I'm a 0, that means like I'm ready to die. Like, this hurts so much, just I can't make the right decision because I'm a 0
no, why are you? I thought 10 was the worst.
or whatever it was. I don't know.
Okay, so if
You
you're,
think I talked to them? Like, no comment.
but you're married to an RN now.
Oh yeah.
So you should know all this stuff. Doesn't it make you feel safe so that Hollywood would be able to know what would happen?
It's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword. Oh,
because it makes me feel safe, but then if anything happens, it's always 14 times bigger deal than like, oh, I got a paper cut. Oh, you got to do this, and then
that finger fall
for the
off?
next 3 days we have to do this. Then I'm like, okay, I love you, thank you.
so you don't do it, do you?
Well, I don't tell her if I'm hurting. No, why would I?
That's now that's growing up. I remember not to tell my mother that I have a cough. I'd try and stifle the cough or the sneeze. I'd go in another room because she would give us Argerol. You don't know what Argerol is, do you? You've never heard of that, have
Measure
you?
your blood or something? Bloodletting?
No.
How far back we going?
We're going back to the 50s.
Okay.
And this was a drug that
It would knock you out?
It was kind of like iodine. It looked like iodine, and that's what it tasted like.
I don't think
That's probably poisonous, but it was some kind of elixir that a guy in a wagon came by.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. But it was, people out there my age will remember Ardrol. Anyway, she would give us this stuff every time. She'd make us sniff it up our nose, or gargle with it or whatever. And you didn't want to do that, so you just never gave her any symptom to work on, because that's what she would do until she got that, until she figured it out, and and you were cured. She wouldn't let up. So I imagine that somebody that's an RN that has an RN next to their name would do the same thing, but they have knowledge. She has a lot of skills and knowledge.
Yeah.
So I think it's it's like
it's a great
having
thing.
a policeman. Like if you were married to a policeman, you would feel safer. Except they're always gone taking care of other people. That's other than that.
The one time I needed you.
What? What'd you say?
Like the one time I needed you.
Oh.
They broke into our house.
That would be sad. That would be really sad.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about that. Because this stupid case about the 4 college students that were killed and they can't find the guy, it's so sad. And it's making this whole town so nervous. But it seems like, because the things that they put out on this case, that it will calm people down. And you start feeling like they're just saying that. They don't know where this guy is. This guy could be anywhere.
They even know who it is?
No, they don't know who it is. And they've got one screenshot of his car. They're pretty sure this is the car and this is the guy that did it, leaving at 3:45 in the morning. He was at the gas station that was near where this killing happened. And so they feel like that's the guy. It has to be him. So that whoever owns that kind of car, they're going to be stopped so many times. I just wonder if that's the way the police do it. If you just have an image of the car, you don't know the license plates or anything like that, but if your car resembled the car that the murderer was in, you'd be stopped all the time, right?
Yeah.
That's sad. That's scary. He could put a sign up in his car, "I'm not the murderer," or something like that.
Then you'll definitely get pulled over.
Well, if you had a car like that, you wouldn't. I'd stop driving it for a while until they found the guy. But this is so interesting because they get little snippets of stuff, and they're nothing. But there were like 6 college students in this house, and they said the door had been left open for hours, so they didn't lock the doors, and that's scary. Or they kept the doors open because they knew it was coming over. We got to do the whodunit thing again. That was so much fun with Bob Berry and Denny. That was, I don't think Bob will do anything except he's vacationing and having a good time and enjoying his retirement. So nobody wants to come back out of retirement. Anyway, so I didn't tell you, we were off for like 2 days or something like that, and during October, and I went to the Renaissance Festival and came back, and I forgot to talk to you about it because I knew you were dying to know how I did at the Renaissance Festival.
What do you mean how you did?
How could you walk around all that place? And
That's not that bad.
it is. There's so many different.
There's
dirt, there's rocks, there's
Yeah.
You're always walking over different level ground or unlevel ground, but the people are so much fun. I could just sit in one place. The grandchildren with me with their dates, and they were like going everywhere. They had a blast. But they all want to dress up next time. The costumes and do these people dress like this when they go home from work? They take off their work clothes and put on these kind of clothes.
I think it's a mixed bag.
And they're very serious. They have their hand on their sword. And
I remember going one year, and there were so many people in great costumes, and basically I saw someone take a picture of them, and he wanted a tip.
Yes, yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, does he work here? Like, do all these people work here? Or do they just travel around and go to these Comic-Con kind of things and get tips?
Well, the
I mean, he's making. I mean, he's probably making some money, but it's just
they do.
you don't know if if they work there, if they're just fanatics. And I think that's probably the scariest thing about the Renaissance Festival is when you go there, it's so spread out. Mm-hmm. It's almost like what they did was they bought this land and they're a commune. And they're like, hey, you get this section, you get this section, you take care of your section, and we'll take care of our section. And so some sections look really great. But then, like, if you notice that, like, at the very front of the festival it looks great. Mm-hmm. But, like, the further back you go, it's like, oh, no one's been back here for 20 years to repaint this village.
Well, a lot of them won't use electricity because they want to be in the time that was. There was no electricity, so they have candles and stuff like that. And I'm going around trying to find some place to let me plug in my phone to recharge my phone.
Yeah.
And they go, we don't do that. And I said, but
And they say it in some accent.
yeah, oh, yes.
Oh, my lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
I mean,
one
that's what's
place-
scary about that place. Like, you have no idea who works there besides the people in the booth.
if they're real or what.
Yeah, it's like, do you even work here? It's like, oh no, man, I'm just hanging out.
Yeah.
And like,
Well,
I wonder if they have that problem. You watch the knights and they hit each other and stuff off the horses and stuff.
Right.
What happens if someone dresses up as a knight and it's just like just gets on there and like
And he's got a real sword.
is he with you? Is he with us?
No, but I went up to this one place because my daughter-in-law says you've got to go get this steak on a stick. It's just amazing.
the food's
It's
really good
amazing.
there.
And so I went, okay. And so I walked up, and these two wenches, come walking in and said, hello, it's so good to have you here. Please let us give you a steak on a stick. You won't believe how wonderful it is.
Yeah.
And the other girl goes, oh, yes, darling, you've got to do it. You've got to have this. And so she's doing this. And then the guy comes out around the back and goes, hey, anybody need any more meat cooked? I can cook some more meat if you want it. I said, man, you just ruined the whole vibe. These
It's
girls
a fun
were
experience.
doing great.
I think it's fun.
It is, and they do a lot of them do all kind of accents. It is, but they really let their hair down on
Some
when
of the
they go there.
costumes.
On the costumes, and everything, because the costumes, a lot of them are pretty revealing.
Oh, no, that's what I meant. Like, it's just again, it's like you don't know if they work there or not, so you
Right.
can't get mad. It's like, can you believe that what that dude was wearing? And it's like he probably doesn't even work here. He just dresses up like a barbarian.
Where do I report this nasty?
Yeah.
That there's no place to report.
It's
Sorry,
plausible deniability or whatever. It's like, oh, that guy doesn't work here.
you just have to look elsewhere. It's terrible. But it is an adventure, and you need to go at least once so that you can say you've been there. The kids love to go every single
I mean,
year.
I would probably go every year if there was a group of people wanting to go. I'm like, yeah, I'll go.
Now that would be fun. I can see your group,
Yeah.
because and get your bowling group. What are they
Yeah,
called?
we'll just hang out and get a turkey leg and
Yeah, and y'all could all
get
wear
some
your
mead.
You could all wear your shirts, your bowling shirts, and go
No,
do
we
that.
go shirtless and we paint our bodies.
And you paint your bodies. Okay, I saw that too. They did. They
Wear
like to do
Speedo.
that.
Yeah.
Be sure and tell me when you do that. When you go, that would be a lot of fun to watch. To be walking behind you.
Yeah.
There'll be some really good-looking girl in the mall, and
Like at the mall.
at the mall,
the shopping mall.
Yeah, shopping
Okay.
mall. And if you walk behind them, it's so fun to watch the people's reaction, the guy's reaction, and
Why would I be
I was
walking
just talking
behind a
about-
girl?
no, I said if I don't find somebody to walk behind. I'm just saying it's funny to be walking in the mall and there's a really good-looking girl walking in front of you, and to watch all the
guys
reaction.
kind of like, oh look, an
Yeah, but-
occasional girl. Oh look.
But they're standing with their girl. They're walking with their
Yeah.
girlfriend, and they want to look at this girl, and it's hilarious. And they've got something on TikTok where a guy will go next to a girl and whisper while she's with her boyfriend,
Yeah.
and whisper something, and then he runs off, and
Boyfriend,
she's trying to
yeah.
restrain the boyfriend. That's a weird thing they do.
I bet it's all real.
You don't think it is? I think it's It
don't
looks
know.
real. The reaction looks real. But
Anything on TikTok is fake to me.
it is.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like TikTok, but people will send me TikTok. I like reels, and the reels, you sit on those reels for like an hour, and it's gone by. You know, I'll look up and I go like, an hour has gone by. Why? How could that happen? But you get so into them, and they're fun to look at.
All right.
You've never seen me on one, have you?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's on there anymore. I think they took it down. So
That's good.
you're not shocked?
No. Everyone's on TikTok.
No, I'm not on TikTok.
Yeah, this one time I was with Holly, and some guy came and whispered something to his ear, and I beat the crap out of him.
You did not.
Yeah, she couldn't restrain me. His joke didn't work.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, of all people, I can just see you turning to Holly and saying, "You should be flattered." You know, like, don't be upset. It just depends on what he said to her, but if that would really happen,
I would be like, your body, your choice. You can do whatever you want. That's what I tell her. That's my response to everything.
man, it's so funny because you were born in
The 80s.
80s.
Yeah.
And so for you to be born in the 80s and have that, Colorado type of, hey, that's the way it is, And it's just,
I think it would be different if I was a taller, stronger guy. Then I'd probably have more control. But it's just like I'm not an expert at jiu-jitsu or I was kind of like, oh, that's the way it is.
you should just, it's not that, because you could, decimate somebody if you had the right skills, but so you don't have to be a big, tall, intimidating
It's more of
looking guy.
it's more intimidation is what helps you.
You think so?
Oh yeah, 100%.
No.
Yeah. Especially in the real world, like no one really knows each other, so they're like, oh, that guy's giant. I'm not going to mess with him.
That is, I guess that's
And
true.
probably the first thing they'll do is apologize before even think anything happens. Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's like, well, what are you apologizing for? I thought I was in trouble. You came into my proximity.
Well, maybe if you wore all black clothes,
Or maybe I just have a open carry. That'll intimidate people.
if you would strap,
Yeah.
well, those things are
I knew a guy like that, and it was so much fun to see him be in public with them because what's funny is if you look the part, they just assume you're an officer.
right. That's right. You're right.
Yeah, like if I had long hair
Right.
and like my old look, people would be like, "Oh, that guy's not an officer.
No.
We do not like this guy.
He's a psycho.
He's a psycho, and he has a gun."
Right.
But then if you clean yourself up and you're wearing your shirt tucked in or something, like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
a cop. That's a cop."
And it looks like you have some kind of protective vest underneath it.
Yeah.
But usually they're very bulk, But here's a problem. This drives Sam crazy. He said, "Why is it that these officers are in cars chasing somebody when they get out of the
Oh,
car?
they're big.
They're so thick
I think that's the
police
union.
they couldn't run or couldn't."
Yeah, like I know they have like a stress test or whatever you want to call it, like every year, whatever you call it.
Really?
Like a conditioning test. Yeah, but they probably lower the standards every year.
Well, do you think they make them run on a treadmill, or do you think they give them a shot into their, and it causes?
I
their
mean, I
heart-
imagine there's so much red tape with that kind of stuff.
Well, I feel bad for the policemen. I don't want them to fall over.
Well, what's interesting about it is, you think there would be what you're trying to say is logical, right? But there are certain levels of the police department. For example, I imagine the SWAT team has to have a standard of conditioning. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts. Like you have to be in a certain physical condition.
Yeah.
But then like there's other parts of the force where it's like, oh, you're just a patrolman. Your requirements are a lot lower. And so that big thick guy will never be a SWAT person.
Right.
But I would tie it
That's
into
right.
I would tie it into bonuses. That's how I would incentivize it because you don't want to hurt people's feelings, right? That's the today's
no.
world. So it's like, oh, hey, if you pass this physical test, you get a bonus.
Right. Yeah, because
But there's probably some legal loophole with that one too.
Right. I'm so glad
So-
that you don't have those standards that we have to pass
Yeah.
to sit behind a desk.
Well, the underlying tone of the Lone Star Community Radio is to see the ugly truth of Montgomery County. You know? But,
That's great.
but I imagine police forces around the country have different standards.
Right.
So,
Well, it bothers me sometimes when I see it, and
I think it's hilarious, but it's also kind of one of those things where, they probably were at one point a fit person when they
Stealth,
joined the
yeah.
force, and then it's like, oh, there's no rules, you can't fire me. So it's
Yeah.
like, just gonna just let me eat. I'm literally eating donuts every day.
Is that you think that's where that came from? Is
Might
the
be, I
the
don't know.
donut thing?
Well, I mean, it's also something where you're in a job where you're probably sitting 80% of the time,
Right.
and the only time you really eat is you have 15 minutes to eat. So where are you gonna go get food
Dunkin' Donuts
or something?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
Well, that's what I worried about is the people that are in that line and they're expecting you to go chase the bad guy, and if you can't chase the bad guy, then
Well, isn't that why certain departments are like, we're not going to chase people? It's like,
we're going to
all
just
right,
shoot
it's-
them.
I
the
think
bullet
there's-
can get there
No,
faster than
I
me.
want to say I was reading there's certain towns where it's like that's the protocol. You don't chase people because you can endanger other citizens by the chase.
Like a car chase, you mean?
Well, just chase in general.
Yeah.
Like any chasing. There won't be any car chasing. There won't be.
Yeah, no car chasing.
Yeah.
Now, that I certainly understand that because the car chase empowers or makes
Well, I
the
imagine the
one you're
technology
chasing go
balances
crazy.
it out. So, like, if you cause a robbery, right, and you have pictures, and they'll probably know who you are within a day. Like, there's a good chance, unless you're.
Oh, yeah,
you're-
right.
Like,
Yeah.
there's a good chance. Like now, you comment about those 4 students being murdered.
Right.
For some reason, they're having a hard time knowing if it was even a male or female. But I say most of the time when robberies or something like that happen, like, oh, we don't need to chase him because we can literally find out where he is. And
They're going to out themselves. Well, but see, it's been so long. It's been weeks. Now, this guy could be anywhere. I mean, absolutely anywhere. Or he could be staying right there waiting for the next attack.
yeah, you never know.
That's so scary. Anyway, so I just wanted to tell you about the Renaissance Festival because I knew you were interested
Yeah.
in that. And no, the best thing about the Renaissance Festival, if you ever go, is to find the people that spray themselves totally with with
a paint.
silver.
Yeah.
And
they're
they
nude.
stand there and then they start moving. They're great. They are absolutely great. That fascinates me. I can watch them do that all day. But the other is that the people that will, let's see what they're called.
There's a lot.
Shoot.
Well, I think that's what's so neat about it is that the whole event is an event itself.
Yes.
And you can do a lot of stuff there and still go back the next day and see something new.
And
So, like the shows, they have some really neat shows. Like I said, the
Right.
Knights, and then they have like the Hawk. Those are fun. The fire breathing guys. I knew the guys who did the comedy show, the Mud Puddle or Mudmen. They would jump around in a mud pit and they would make jokes and.
no,
Yeah.
I've never seen that. I wonder
That was a while back. I bet they're retired.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
The ferries aren't there like they used to be.
You never know. You don't know. I think because I think the way it works is there's so many Renaissance festivals around Texas, especially, and they work at different ones.
Yeah.
So it's not like they live on the campsite their whole life. They're probably traveling, and it's like, oh, we're gonna do the Texas Renaissance Festival in Magnolia this year. Yeah, sign us up.
But they don't get paid.
They probably get paid.
You think?
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, the show.
Yeah, the shows and
yeah,
stuff,
if
yeah.
they hire for the shows, but
because there's so many shows there.
you can imagine all the people that volunteer to do whatever they can do.
They get paid.
The volunteers don't get paid. I mean, don't you think
Well,
that
volunteers are probably cleaning up trash. They're not sitting there putting a sword down their throat.
Oh, yeah, true. I
Yeah.
didn't see that. I didn't see that. But I think that the people that do the swallow the fire and stuff. And your friend did that? Are you knew some?
I said the mud guys.
Okay, but you didn't know anybody that did this. I want to ask someone, because they talk about the fluid they put in their mouth, and then when they put the fire in there and it lights it on fire. And I'm like, how do you do that without burning?
It's nice to know that carnival people still exist.
True. This is what I used to do. I used to take the kids over to this carnival by our house, and I go, now this is what's going to happen. This is where you're going to work, and this is what you're going to look like if you don't go to college.
Oh, really? That's mean.
That was really mean. That was so mean. That was way back in the 70s when I would do that. But because then I felt bad. That was very judgmental on my part. But I tell the kids, you got to go to college. You got to go to college, and then you won't be doing that, because that's, they have to find a job that they can do and get paid that day. That's what they're looking for, is that day. Looking for that day's pay. You know what?
I bet there's some wild stories from there.
Some what?
Wild stories.
Violent?
Wild.
Yeah, violent. I think
and
violent probably.
Stories, yeah.
And wild would be stories from that. Wouldn't you love to have what do you call the circus people?
Carnies?
Carnies. Yeah, to have a carny on and talk about what the life was like at the carnival. Probably people wouldn't go to a carnival if they heard maybe some of that stuff. The thing, how stupid you feel when you get old enough to realize you'll never get that loop, that little rubber loop over the
bottle cap or whatever.
Yeah, the bottle cap, whatever. That it wasn't ever meant to be.
I remember
you can't do that.
We went on vacation and we went to a theme park somewhere, I want to say like the Northeast. And I was too small to ride the rides at the time. So my mother took me and we played some of those games while the rest of my family. Well, I ended up winning a giant velociraptor from Jurassic Park.
Oh, my word.
Like, I'm talking probably bigger than a suitcase, because the reason I knew that is my parents refused to let me bring it on the plane because it was huge. And I remember fighting them so much. I was like, I earned this. Can we mail it home? Like, how do I get this home? It's like, well, we can't carry that onto the airplane. Well, it's bigger than you.
You left it there at the airport?
I forgot. I think because we were visiting friends, and I think they mailed it.
Oh, okay. Was it a blow-up thing?
No, it was like one of those giant stuffed animals.
So you couldn't.
Like I could barely pick it up.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it was really funny. My parents, they were trying to figure out what to do. Like, how do we not disappoint him? I mean, he did win it, and it was one of those one in a million things. It's like he got the ring on it. It's like, what do we do here?
How in the world you got the ring? One of the rings?
It's one of those things. Yeah.
That's
one. Like I hit that one golden cup or something. That kind of thing.
Ooh, that's great.
But it was really funny.
How much money I spent trying to shoot. I thought I was really good. I thought I could shoot really well. And and Sam told me later, he said, no, those are not meant for you to get anything. And if they give somebody a gun that will shoot straight, they want people to think they can get, they can do the same thing. And then you never do. So
there's always strategies to those kind of games. I bet with YouTube you can look it up real fast. Like especially like shooting the star out with a BB gun. You ever seen that game where you have the BB gun that shoots like a lot of pellets?
Yeah.
And you have to shoot out the star, make all the black disappear. I bet there's some strategy how to go.
No, I just love the one like at the pizza place, Incredible Pizza, that has the set up like an old farmhouse, and the guy's rocking in the chair and the dog and stuff. And so you shoot all these different things. That was fun. And you could actually do it, but it was just a laser shot. Like I mean, if you just keep shooting, it's going to happen. But those were fun. I like that a lot. Does the Renaissance Festival have those? Do they have those kind of games there? Not that kind.
Okay.
No, that was it.
Well, I don't think they have any games like that, do they? They don't have like ring toss or anything, do they?
No. I was talking about like at a fair.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, because they have the county fair here in Montgomery County, so they have those kind of games there.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yeah, wouldn't you be afraid to ride the roller coaster at one of those things?
Oh yeah,
because they set it up so fast and I mean, I was always scared to even ride them at Six Flags, and Six Flags had that. It was all wood.
Yeah, the
roller coaster.
Typhoon. Typhoon? I forgot what it was, yeah.
And
it was fun.
And when it would come around that edge,
it would rattle real heavily.
And you could hear the rattle. And one time, the first day they opened.
Well, you know what's scary about that, though, Cindy? Is
what?
Eventually something's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm buying this theme park, and it's like, the insurance guy's like, just letting you know, something's going to happen. Like, don't know when, where, how, what, but just to let you know.
You know when that kid went down that slide, the water slide, and blew out of it?
Okay.
And now they have a net over it
Yeah.
when you go down. It's not as scary now anymore to do it. In Galveston, it was one water park in Galveston.
It's going to happen.
But
I enjoy rides. Like, Holly doesn't like rides, but I enjoy rides a lot.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, she probably doesn't like
the carnival rides. I'll ride the carnival rides for
sure. They
make
you sick?
Yeah, I might ride all of them.
They never make you sick?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Those things, and where it put the gravity puts you up against the wall, and you can't move yourself.
I remember
out.
one time, it was during my bachelor party. We rented a house in Seguin, Texas, on the river, and for some random reason, there was like a water park in Seguin, and they had one roller coaster ride. And one of my buddies was like, hey, do you want to go? It's literally 10 minutes away from the house. Like, do you want to go check it out on like the day everyone's leaving? I was like, yeah, let's go. So I think there was like 5 of us. We went, and we get on the roller coaster. No one's in line, and we get done with it. And he's like, can we go again? And the guy's like, well, y'all can just keep going until y'all want to get off. I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Oh, man.
I think we rode it like 7 times in a row.
Were y'all standing up?
No, it was one of those. It was a wood one, like an old school roller coaster. But like after the 7-1, that's when I got out of the car. I was like, yeah, I could see how people get sick. But then again, we rode it 7 times in a row. Like, we didn't stop. Like, we come to the stop, and we're like, thumbs up, and then he just sent us off again.
That's the worst sickness from doing that kind of stuff.
And then we went to the water park, which is the worst decision because there's people everywhere, and I was like, I don't feel good. We got to get out of here.
Because there were people everywhere?
Yeah.
And that made you not feel good?
Yeah. There's too many kids. And I'm like dizzy. I'm like, all right, I got to sit down.
I thought you were like, you have anxiety.
Oh, no.
You don't mind being around a lot of people.
No.
It's just, that was because you were feeling sick already.
Yeah. A lot of yelling.
No, and throwing up at a park or anything like that is really embarrassing. You should
I've done that.
never get to. You've thrown up there?
I've thrown up at a football game.
That's because you drank too much.
No, I got sick. I had like food poisoning.
Where was you?
We went to the Rice. It was a bowl game, and one of our friends was a kicker for Rice, and so we got tickets. And I forgot. I think it was at might have been Reliant. Might have been there.
Wow.
But I remember getting there, and then we were sitting down, and it's probably like at noon. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we had breakfast tacos that morning. We all got together, and I was like, I don't feel very good. And I get up, and I'm like walking, and I just feel it happening, and I just threw up in a trash can. The guy looks at me, he's like, and I was like, yeah.
So you made it up the walk.
I made it up the walk, but then like I threw it in one of the trash cans. So it's like,
man, there's no faster way to clear a room than you be the one.
Well, what I love is like, you want me to get you something to drink? And I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. And then he's like, do you have any money? Because they're like $10. And I'm sitting here throwing up. I was like, even water's $10. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah.
Oh, that's so gross.
I hated that too because I was like, I really wanted to watch the football game. Now I feel like crud.
Yeah. Oh, imagine how you made everybody feel around you. You know, because when you hear somebody throw up, you start gagging.
And then I threw up again at the mall because we all met at the mall to park our cars. I forgot where it was, but like, yeah. And then I remember going to the mall, and I'm like, man, I feel good again. I have to find the bathroom. Malls' bathrooms are always like
always real far away.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm like, yeah, that was.
And did you make it?
Oh no, I threw up all over in the bathroom, like all on the floor right when you walk in.
As you walked in?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I felt so bad, and then I was like, I gotta find somebody to clean this. So I started cleaning it, and then I realized like this is disgusting because I don't have a mop or anything. So I walked outside, and I try to find the information booth, and I'm like, man, it's been 10 minutes trying to find somebody. and people are walking into that bathroom. Like
were
right when
walking over it?
when you open the door,
Yeah.
it's just boom, right there. But yeah.
And they were you watching them trying to walk in there?
Yeah.
Did they turn around and come back out, or did they just go
No, I
ahead
was trying to
and
find somebody
step
that
over it?
called to clean.
No, I mean when the people walked in.
Oh, after I told somebody, I did not go back to the scene of the crime. Why would I do that?
Isn't that the truth? That's
Yeah.
You don't want to say, "Ooh, who did that?" That's horrible. How
Yeah.
gross. Yeah, that's the worst. The feeling of getting ready to throw up is bad enough, but then if you go like, I gotta do this, and I don't throw up like that. I
Yeah.
throw up.
Yeah.
I scream when I throw up. I
doubt
keep thinking I'm not going to be able to get my breath because I'm the worst thrower upper there is. So I try everything I can to keep from. I'll go take lemon juice that settles your stomach a lot to do that, and then a Coke to make you. Those are the things. The only
Yeah.
way to get me through it because I cannot throw.
Well,
up.
that's one thing I always wondered on the airplanes, where it was always customary to like them to tell you where the barf bag is. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, it's like, how often do people throw up on airplanes? Like it must, because I've only ridden on an airplane like maybe 2 times.
And that's what I mean.
And I'm thinking back in the 50s, like when airplane was like normal air rides or like a normalcy in people's lives.
Right.
It's like those things must have been so shaky, and like
Yes.
everyone's throwing up.
And one does it, the other. And
Well, yeah,
keeps
I always
going.
wondered
Yeah.
that because
Well, those little bags, you open it up like this, and you go like, "How am I
and
going to get?"
and they're heavy duty.
Yeah, how am I going to fit my mouth over and try and get this? And you're just, I couldn't do that. I just jump out the plane because I couldn't do that. It would be. I'm just a really
But now it's just smooth sailing for everybody. Everyone's just used to it.
like. Samantha and Christy could go say, "Just a minute, I'll be right back. I got to throw up," and they announce it, and then they go in, throw up, and then come back in, start talking
There
about
you
something
go.
else. But
Just gotta let it happen. Cindy.
I'm ridiculous, and I just feel bad for anybody that's around me. And as loud as I would scream throwing up, nobody came in there. Nobody came to say, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" Because our house is like the 747 going off because everybody has an app on. You know, they have the rain app and they have the wind app on their
Okay.
TVs, going to sleep to all that. You've never gone to sleep with a rain app on?
No.
No? Go to YouTube, find
I
all
get
the
you.
rain apps.
But I can't imagine doing that on an airplane though, because that has to be the most discomforting feeling.
That little teeny bathroom.
Well, because it's like every time I've been on an airplane, everything feels like half an inch too small.
Yeah, okay.
But well, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just small enough to where it's like this is uncomfortable, but I
Right.
can maybe get comfortable for 5 minutes. And so I can't imagine because your whole body's like just heating up, and you're like, I do not feel good, and now I'm going to be stuck in this seat.
And they're picking up these people from Las Vegas that
Yeah.
are out partying, and they're so
Yeah.
drunk, and then they get in a fight on the plane and all that, and they're so
Actually,
surprised. Why are you
yeah.
surprised? You're serving them liquor. They've been liquored up, and now you're serving them more liquor, and then they're going to fight. They're going to fight. And it's just, I'm not wearing a mask because I'm going to be able to throw up right in the mask. You know, I don't know.
I always enjoy our talks, Cindy.
I always enjoy our talks as well. And it just goes by, it flies by. It just, I can't believe it. And I'm just going to have to thank Chris Wootton for this, that we able to sit down and just have a conversation. And people have learned things. There's
Yeah.
things they've learned
Take your
from
financial
this.
advisor out to lunch every once in a while. Invite him to Christmas.
Yeah, I never thought about doing something like that. Thank you for telling me that.
Oh, it was interesting.
I think that's really good, and that makes it probably feel like, wow, you mean you appreciate me? Thanks, that's so great, because a lot of people don't show that kind of appreciation. Now, I do, because I don't take you out to lunch, but I bring you lunch,
Yeah, I love
right?
it.
And so that makes me your favorite
Yeah, I love it
host.
when you bring me lunch and then you're like, hey, will you talk to me for an hour so you don't eat it?
Oh,
and I'll
that-
be right in front of you the whole time.
Can you can you smell the onions
Yeah,
coming in
it's
there?
going to be good.
Listen, and they put it in the oven too. That's what's
I
bad.
appreciate you.
I'm sorry I made it. It's cold now. I should let you.
I'm
hear
just
that
giving you a
verse.
hard time, Cindy. I appreciate it.
No, well, you should.
Well, we have a show tomorrow?
Yes, we do. It's with Charlie Cash. Everybody that's been around town for a long time and gone to a lot of the old clubs and things like that around town in Houston has seen Charlie play.
Okay.
He's incredible. And that's how Sam and Charlie got together. He used to work at H&H Music downtown, so a lot of people know that.
Oh, that fancy store?
That place. It's not fancy.
Oh, they have
well,
violins
it was.
and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, they
That's
have
fancy.
everything down there.
Yeah.
They have but anyway, that was it's Charlie's background is Houston. Everybody knew him from the music scene, and then Terrell Mizell is he's a music pastor at one of the churches here in Conroe, and so he sang this song, and I saw the song. Can we play the YouTube video of their song tomorrow?
We'll see.
Okay.
We got to wrap it up, Cindy.
Okay. All right. I got to wrap it up. All right. Anyway, so join us tomorrow and meet Charlie. He's great, hilarious. He's so funny. And Terrell, who's an amazing singer. So be with us tomorrow, and we're going to get a little Christmassy tomorrow. Okay. All right. Good. Listen, thank you so much for joining us. And Wootton Financial Group is our group. We love them. 936-449-5952. Okay. Listen.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any